guys, Celestia here. I'm sorry that I haven't done a video before now, but the reason is, well, I've been busy trying to work on something new and exciting to show you guys how to do. So I think you're going to be very happy that you tuned in today, because I'm going to show you how to make this. It is a Papasan chair. Oh yes, yes it is. Now, the materials that you're going to need are, pardon the pun, some material, some duct tape, needle and thread, a measuring tape, an X-Acto knife, and if there are children out there, please keep these X-Acto knives away from them because they're very sharp and they could get hurt. A pen for marking, fabric scissors, a kitchen sponge. I know you're thinking, a kitchen sponge? Celestia, you've lost your mind. You'll know why. A storage container on the small side, and a plastic bowl. The plastic bowl sits in your storage container, something like that, after it's been cut, and then the little piece that you have left over at the bottom you can use for a footstool. So let's get started, shall we? First things first is we're going to deal with the material. So, measuring tape out, and what I want you to do is I want you to hold it right down at the bottom of the bowl. I don't know how well you can see this, but anyway, down at the bottom of the bowl, up and over the lid, or the lip, and then down to the center. And it comes out to approximately 20 centimeters, or about 8.5 inches. Now, this is the material that I'm going to be using. Ooh, very cool animal print. And so is my duct tape. Alrighty, measuring tape can just sit there for now. Now we want to mark this on the wrong side, okay? I just cut a square piece of material like that, making sure that it was looking like it was going to be long enough. And then we just fold it from the point like this. And you're going to have about that much left over at the bottom, or however much you've cut your material. And then we're going to fold it over again. Okay? Now remember, it was 20 centimeters, right? So that means that we only need to measure 10 centimeters because that's half the size of the bowl. Now I am going to recommend that you do at least 12, because that way you're sure that you're going to have enough, and you're just going to cut it across, mark it across like that. Okay, that's about 11.5. Get your fabric scissors and you cut it off. Now, I don't think this is going to be enough. No, this is not going to be enough, so I made a boo-boo. I made a big boo-boo. Okay, you know what? Let's try this again. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm not even going to use the measuring tape. I'm just going to go like this. To heck with it. I'm going to cut it off right there. Sorry about that, guys. Now, this particular fabric used to be a valance. And you know what? That still isn't right, because it should be a circle. So I'm going to have to get some more fabric and try this again. You see, this is what happens when I rush. Okay, fabric can go down there. What we're going to do then, we're going to try this and go about this a different way. We're going to turn this inside out, like so. I'm so sorry, guys. I really am. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay the bowl on the fabric. Okay? And I am just going to kind of eyeball it. Now remember, it does not have to go all the way in to the center of your bowl, because that's what the duct tape is for. Now that's going to look a little crooked, a little cockeyed, and it probably is. You guys all know that I have a very crooked eye. Now if you want to leave it doubled, you can. Or if you want to make a pair of chairs that match, then cut them both out at the same time. And those are not my scissors. These are my scissors. And then you will have matching chairs. Okay? So, I'm even going to cut around it a little bigger than what it was. This is very simple. It's very quick. But it looks great. It really, really does. I mean, as you saw. Now, I was watching other people do all different kinds of chairs, and I was like, well, you know what? Those are pretty cool. However, what if, you know, maybe I could think of something different? And I did. And to be honest with you, I am very happy that I did, and I am very happy with the outcome. So, as you can see, there are two pieces, and I absolutely love this pattern. Love it. Now this is where your needle and thread come in. You're very quickly going to get out a really, really long piece of thread, because it's going to have to go all the way around that circle. You don't need the pen, it can go over there. Now I have issues occasionally threading the needle, but let's hope that it doesn't take me 15 tries. Oh, look at that. Amazing. I'm only going to use a single strand, but I am going to put a great big huge knot in the bottom, because we're going to be doing a running stitch very, very close to the edge of the fabric. And like I said, this doesn't matter because it's going to be covered with duct tape. So, big, huge running stitch, just like this, in and out. Leaving a little bit at the end there so that we can grab a hold of it when we need to gather it up. Now, I will also tell you that I did figure out the doll stand problem. And that will probably be my next DIY. At least I'm hoping so. That might be later on in the month, later on near the end of the month, because I just haven't gone out to replenish my supplies. So, I'm sorry about that. But at least I did figure it out. So, the running stitch is just going, like I said, all the way around the outside, and it doesn't matter whether you do this on the wrong side or the right side. You just need to do it, and that's it. And it doesn't even matter if it's a perfect circle, to be honest with you. It could be an oval. My circle is certainly not perfect, far from it, as a matter of fact, as you can tell. But that doesn't matter. Again, this is one of those, I'm not going to say foolproof, but virtually foolproof DIYs. Now, you could do this on a sewing machine, I suppose, but I mean, it's just going to take you longer. I mean, I did the other one just by hand as well, and it didn't take me very long. And as you can see, I am more than halfway finished. Now, I can get these bowls out of your way so that you can actually see what's going on. Get this crap out of here. Ach, den Himmel. I tell you what. I mean, I had been planning this for 2 days. And it would seem that I would just get ready to do the video and something would come up. And I'd be like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, obviously, I didn't do it yesterday, so it's just one of those things, guys. Just one of those things. And as you can see, I'm doing this on the wrong side, but as I said, it really, really doesn't matter whether you do it on the right side or the wrong side, because it's just going to be gathered. And probably doing it on the wrong side is a good thing. Having the wrong side facing up, because once you start to gather it, like I'm going to start to do now, I'm just going to start pulling it, and as you can see, it does gather, but you don't want to go too far because you still have to put your bowl in the middle. So we're going to go round and around she goes, and where she stops only Nancy B and Celestia know. And since I'm both of them, I guess I know where I'm going. So, I don't know. So when we get to the end over here, and it's going to be nice because I do have, I believe, do I only have one or do I have two more pink bowls? I think I might have two more pink bowls and two more of these storage containers. And so I'm going to make a match for this one so that I can have, I thought it would be really kind of cool. I want to get the Monster High doll, is it Claudine or Claudia Wolf? I already have her brother. I thought it would be kind of cool to have the two of them sitting in animal print chairs. I don't know. So before I get the bowl in there, which I have come to the end where I can start gathering and where I can put the bowl in, I'm going to tell you how to measure for your bowl, okay? I got these bowls at Dollarama. They were 4 for $1.25. I got the storage containers. These are, I don't know whether a medium or a small. I can't remember how many ounces it is. I don't think it says on the bottom. No, it just says made in China, M1. I think it's an M. Anyway, what you do is you just sit it in. And once the fabric is on, the fabric is a little thicker and it bulks it out a little bit and it sits in there very well. Now I know you're saying, well, that doesn't look anything like the chair that you showed us. You're right, it doesn't, but it will. So what we want to do is we want to put the chair in the middle of where we have been gathering. And we're just going to pull it. And even that, believe it or not, was not big enough. Well, guys, what can I say? I'm an nincompoop. But duct tape to the rescue. Okay? So don't do that. And what you do is you just cut off some very small pieces to get you started. Okay? Stick that to the edge of the table. Now, where are my strings? There they are. Now that you've gathered this, you want to try the best that you can to even out your gathers. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to move this over a little bit. And I'm going to start by sticking this like that. What I'm showing you right now is how not to do this. Yes, that's, I'm showing you the incorrect way. Yes, showing you what not to do so that when you make yours, you will make it perfectly. Oh, and if you believe that, well, I have some swampland for you in the Sahara Desert. Sahara, You say tomato, I say tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Let's call the whole thing off. So I really love this cheetah, leopard, or whatever kind of print it is of this duct tape. I just love it. And it was in my Dollar Tree haul that I showed you, the crafting haul. So it looks great. And we're going to be using lots of it. So as you can see, and that's actually a good thing in a way, because the back of the cushions are put together with duct tape, so you could always have one facing out that has the print on it, and you could, you know, have the other one facing out that has, you know, the duct tape print on it. So it all works out in the end. And we just keep going around and around and around and around. And I figure I probably am going to need probably at least 2 more pieces. Oops, took the tape off the table. Oh well, that's okay. It's falling off anyway. So 2 more pieces of the duct tape to fill it in. So, if I were you, if you're going to do it the way that I did it, you want to measure half again or twice the size of your bowl, so that you don't make the same mistake that I did, so that you don't come back to me and say, Celestia, it didn't work. Well, you're right, it didn't. It didn't even work for me. So, because I'm a dingbat. So there we go. There. It's all nice and covered. I think it looks cool. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. So now what you want to do is you want to take your sponge and you want to lay it down, snip and cut. I don't know whether you guys can see this, but you want to take your sponge, lay it down, and you want to make it just a little tiny bit larger than your sponge. And then I'm going to show you what to do with your sponge. Okay? Now, I need fabric. Okay? This is where your X-Acto knife comes in. Because trust me, these little sponges are really, really tricky to get these little scrubby things off. Please be very, very careful when you do this. Very, very careful. Okay? Because I don't want anybody to get hurt. Now, these are going to be the cushions for the inside of your Papasan chair. And what you're going to do is, to the best of your ability, without ripping it in half like I did with mine, I did. The very first one that I made, I ripped the sponge right in half. I could have cried. I almost did, if I'm honest. Ta-da! Okay. This can go away. It's out of the way. Don't need to worry about it anymore. Needle and thread can go away. Oops. Well, okay. Anyway. Now, these are going to get wrapped just like you would be wrapping a Christmas present. Okay? So, see, don't cut the match. Go like this. Right? And then, oops, almost cut the mat again. Like this. and then cut it across like this. Just cut that little area. Now, hopefully, now if you have some clear tape, you can use that at this point. However, I do not, so I guess I'm going to need to use more than just 2 pieces of duct tape. Just like that. Okay. Now you want to pull it tight together. Put a little bit of duct tape on it. And the nice thing about the duct tape is it does stick very, very well to fabric. This is where the clear tape comes in handy because you're going to cover the back of the whole cushion, as I said before, with the duct tape. Not duct tape. I have a terrible habit of calling it duct tape. It isn't duck, it's duct. Okay, so we're going to go like this. Okay, and then we're going to take this piece that I've already cut, and we're going to place it over, and we're going to stick it down, just like that. Now, if you think it's hanging over a little bit too much, you can always trim it off, trim off the edges, whatever it is, but make sure that all of the edges are indeed stuck down, okay? Now, this is the one that goes at the back, and then this, oh, there's my needle. Stick that in the thread so I don't lose it and don't step on it or whatever. Don't know whether or not this is going to be big enough. No, it's not. I don't even know if this is going to be big enough. We can hope. We can hope, right? I mean, everything else has gone wrong. I mean, there's got to be one thing that goes right for me today. Oh, yes. Very, very nice. Okay, so we're going to turn that over. We're going to move this down a little bit inside the fabric. And we're going to cut 3 pieces of duct tape of this beautiful white, black, and hot pink animal print. And then this piece I will cut in half and then in half again. Right? Right. Now, I love DIYs. I watch DIYs a lot. I really do. And I have learned a lot from people who do DIYs. And let me tell you, I've also learned that you can make a doll chair out of a Pringles can. Yep. Yes, I actually said a Pringles can. I know what you're thinking, but they assure me that it's true and that it can be done. Well, until I do it, until I see it done, I don't know if I believe it or not. So, that is going to be the next thing that I'm going to try. I think we're going to have to put this across this way. Oh, yeah. Just made it. Wow. Holy macaroni. If you have holy macaroni, you've got problems. I mean, it should have holes, yeah, but not more than one. And again, just smooth it out like that, making sure it goes up and over. And if you think that this is too long, cut it off. So, as you can see, I took the other piece of tape off the table because there's some horrible gouges in the side of this table. And, well, to be honest with you, I didn't like the look of them. I thought they looked kind of gross, so I was trying to be smart, and I covered them, but even now the duct tape is coming off. Okay, so let's do a very, very, very quick recap, okay, guys? You have a bowl. You measure the bowl, and then you double the size of the diameter of the bowl. And I still have some pink showing in here, which is okay, because, I mean, the duct tape has pink in it, but anyway, you double the diameter of the bowl. You cut out a circle. You use a needle and thread and a running stitch, which is just an in and out stitch, okay? And you gather it all up. You put your bowl in the center, trying to, you know, smooth out the gathers a little bit, okay? And you end up, well, it would have fabric in it and not what I have. But anyway, oh, I still need this. Oh, what am I thinking? Joy. Okay. And then you take a kitchen sponge. You cut the scrubby part off to make one pillow. And then you use the spongy sponge part of the kitchen sponge, boy, to make the other pillow. Now, like I said, if you wanted to put them like that, I mean, those are matching patterns, right? I mean, I think that would look pretty cool. If you decided to do that, you might want to cover it up a little bit better, but you don't have to. So, we put those aside. I still need my scissors. I still need the X-Acto knife. Now, I don't know how well you can see it, but at the very bottom, there's a line. And that's the line you want to cut on. That's the line that I use to cut on. And be very careful with the X-Acto knife, guys. You just want to get your cutting line started. Now you can put the X-Acto knife away. Get out your scissors and put it in the hole that you made with your, with your X-Acto knife, and cut. And it will snap, it will crackle, it will pop. Do not worry about that. It's only because you're cutting it. And if people are going to look at your little Papasan chair that you have your beautiful dolls sitting in, and they're going to say, how come that thing is so cracked? Then they don't deserve to be in your house looking at your dolls, okay? But once you get partway around, it does start to get better. There's not as much cracking, snapping, popping, okay? And then you just kind of hold this out a little bit, and ta-da! Now you can see when you cut it, if it's even. If it's not, just go back and even it out, because you want it all to be even, because you want it to sit flat. Because if it's not even, it's not going to sit flat and it's not going to look proper. Now, I don't know, it looks like it's sitting pretty flat to me. Now, like I said before, if you wanted to cover this, you could just, or use duct tape. I didn't. That's my personal preference, because I thought since the base was clear, maybe, just maybe, the Ottoman should be clear. Now, this is the fun part, guys, okay? This is the fun part. This is where you get to sit your chair in, and look how nicely that sits. Look at that. Yes, there are gaps around the chair, but you know what? That's okay. The fabric's going to be able to breathe. And I don't know about y'all, but I think perhaps that might, just might, be important. Now I'm just cutting these little extra pieces off of the bottom that I cut. And put your footstool, making sure that your duct tape is all nice. You put that in there, and you put that in there, like that. You grab your Monster High doll, who has been dying to sit in her new chair, and ta-da! What do you think about that? Is that not amazing? I think so. I was looking on the internet and I came across the egg chairs. And I thought, I could make that. And then proceeded to go, right, how? This is how. Beautiful. Sorry, darling. Again, plastic bowl. Storage container. Cut off the bottom of the storage container along the line. If you do not have a line for your storage container, make one. Use a measuring tape and go up however much this is. It's about an inch and a half maybe. You could make it 2 inches. I don't really think it matters. It just means your chair will be a little lower, but this will be taller. This is your base for your Papasan chair. This is your footstool. You use your duct tape. Now you could, if you could find a piece, you could always cut out a perfect circle and put your little piece of duct tape right there. Would look great. There. Look at that. There we go, guys. One Papasan chair, not necessarily made to specifications, because I'm a knob. I am a big, big knob. Okay, this is what happens when you rush. Okay? This is what happens when you rush. Do not rush. There's no hurry. This would make a great gift for anybody who collects dolls. You could make it to go with their bedroom. You could make it to go with their living room. And then, you know, they have a beautiful little